Trucker Dave here, and today we talk about eating on the road. Eating on the road can be tough. We all have to eat, and we all want to eat good, but a lot of the places where we have to go, there aren't a whole lot of good places to eat. So here's some tips and tricks on finding good food wherever you're at, or at least planning your trip to where you know there'll be good food when you get around there. I'm starting this video here in Sioux City, Iowa. I don't know where it'll end, but if all you want is fast food, you can get it. I mean, I'm standing right here, you know, I look around. I mean, there's a Culver's right behind me. You know, there's a Taco Bell just right up here, and a Popeyes, and a KFC, and a bunch of other things. But when you're in my position, these kind of eats get really old real quick. I mean, truthfully, fast food is crap. It's not healthy. There's nothing really enduring about any of it. The restaurants are usually staffed by minimum wage employees who don't care if they get your meal right or not. So we're gonna go find some decent places, and I'll probably be recording this video over the next few days. So I start here in Sioux City, but you never know, I might end up in South Carolina before this is all done. So let's go on a journey about how to eat on the road. To give you an example, I'm just standing here at the intersection. I can get Popeyes or a KFC right there. You can see the Popeyes, the McDonald's. There's a Taco Bell, the Culver's. And behind this tree and off in those strip malls, there's a Taco John's and some other stuff. So we are completely inundated with fast food. So let's get rid of the fast food and start looking for good food. This is pretty much the truck stop. Got a Subway and a Burger King, coffee, crap, and about 3 aisles of crap. So we're at the Blue Line in Worthington, Minnesota. I can't think of anything nice to say about Worthington, Minnesota, but we're gonna go eat at the restaurant here in a few, and we'll let you know. A lot of these stores are geared towards RVers and tourists rather than truck drivers. They have the general stuff in here. Lots of snack food and some knickknacks. The one thing you're going to find common about all these stores when you're trying to find something to eat, especially in a lot of these truck stops, is they're not around anything. They do that purposely, I think, because you're here, they don't want you going next door to eat, or they don't want you shopping anywhere else but, you know, what's here. And a lot of times it's generally disappointing just because there's not a whole lot in here. The restaurant here is mediocre. It's the same greasy spoon as anywhere else. It's not something I would rate high on a Yelp review. But, you know, there's a lot more snacks and stuff like this in the truck stops that are more geared towards tourists than trucks. Now, if you're a smoker, I'll tell you right now, don't bother buying your cigarettes at a truck stop if you don't have to. Find yourself a smoke shop if you're in a car, Google that, or go into town. And if you don't have to buy them in Minnesota, don't. They're $10 a pack here, you know. So Minnesota's pretty highly taxed, you know. But you're close to South Dakota, you're close to Iowa here, so, you know, if you're going to smoke, go across the border and you can get them for about $4.50 to $5 cheaper if you know where to look. But that's it for this truck stop. And what there is, I gave you a little video on what's inside, so let's head to the next one. Now, if you're on the road, the pilot truck stops
usually have some pretty good delis inside. If you see one that says PJ Fresh, they're going to have a nice deli. They got pretty good breakfast too. It's usually pretty basic. You got your meat, you know, they got bacon and sausage, eggs, and usually something like a French toast and some hash brown sticks. Dinner, they will have things such as, well, they always have meatloaf, chicken, and a lot of fried stuff, which I'm not big, but a lot of the deli stuff's good, and they have some vegetables too. That's not a bad alternative, except just remember, it's a truck stop, so it's a little bit expensive. This one has a PJ Fresh and a Marketplace, and the PJ Fresh is the one with the deli in it. If you don't see this sign, it's just going to be a hot case maybe, or some roller grills, you know, your typical 7-Elevens kind of stuff. The good thing about a lot of these pilots is that they've been established enough that they're around a lot of other good places to eat. Like there's a Walmart across the street, and there's some other stuff that you can walk to. So this is where Google comes in. If you're into things like MapQuest or Google Maps or stuff like that, they'll show you where a lot of stuff is and what is around the area, and that helps a lot. You got the Arby's, the Cinnabon, the Roller Grill, the deli's on the other side of the Cinnabon, and they got a bunch of drinks, so this isn't a bad place. A lot of the problems these days is everybody's preaching health, but yet a lot of these truck stops are taking all the restaurants out, so that makes it a little harder if you're on the road. But like I said with Google, you can find some good sit-down restaurants that you can get a car into if you're driving. Here in West Memphis right now. We're gonna go check out the different kinds of eats around here. The neat thing about a lot of the Petros and some of the TAs, but mostly just the Petros, is that they actually have a deli inside the diesel fueling islands. You know, they'll have gas pumps out front for the cars, but in the back with the diesels, they have a really nice deli, and you can get a full meal in there without having to go into the restaurant. It's a little on the pricey side, but it's on the fair side of high, so it's not horrible. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that the delis at the Petros are not all created equal, but this is about $10 right here. I got my vegetables, you know, green beans, cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots, and my pot roast, and I got a pretty healthy amount of it for about $10. So that's not too bad, and it's good eating. That was just a quick glimpse of the deli from the building behind me. Now let's go over to this. This is the main building here. We were just in the aisles, truck moved in. We were just in that one over there. So we'll go check out over here. The gas station side of this is pretty much typical of every other place we've been in. This is actually a pretty good restaurant. Prices are a little high, but overall, it's decent. You can generally get a pretty decent steak here, but it's not as good as the one in Amarillo. On an unrelated side note, I do have a weakness for Casey's Pizza.
Well, the sun's in my eyes, but we'll get through this anyways. Basically, the long and short of it is there's a lot of good places to eat out here, but you really have to look. If you're looking for a good sit-down place, it's going to be a little more challenging. I tell everybody to read the reviews on Google, but don't read the positive ones. Read the negative ones. Because when you read the negative ones, you're going to start seeing certain things jump out of each review, and you'll be able to determine whether somebody's just complaining or whether it's legitimate. And through all the different reviews as you read down, you'll be able to find out if this is a place you want to eat or if this is something that's actually wrong. Also, gas stations are the same world over, whether you pull over at a Shell in Barstow, California, or whether you're hitting a Wawa in New Jersey. They're going to have the same crap in it. You're not going to eat good out of those. These are basically just quick stops with overpriced snacks. You can get your cigarettes, you can get your snacks, you can be back on the road. Google has been a great help. And if you're in a car, other than the truck, it's going to be exponentially easier to, you know, find some place to eat. You know, aside from that, there's a lot of good places to eat out there. Like, if you know where you're going to stop, or you know what hotel you're going to be at, or whatever you're doing, plan your trip accordingly. Look at the hotel, look where everything is, and you should have a good time. I mean, yeah, I could have Grubhub deliver, or I could have things delivered to me, but that's really expensive. $60 out here on the road, I can eat for a week on that. If I'm, well, I am cheap, but you know, you can eat for $60 out here if you're really careful with your money. So hopefully this has been helpful. I showed you 3 or 4 different places, and if you saw the common theme with all of them, they're all pretty much run-of-the-mill. On the gas station side, the restaurants are decent. There's a few barbecue places around here. I can't get my truck in any of them, but they are good. Barbecue is one of those things that's really hit and miss. It's either going to be really good, or it's just going to flat suck. And truthfully, for the most part, most barbecue out here on the road flat sucks. Or I'm just a snob when it comes to barbecue. So hopefully this has been helpful. Like I said, with this smartphone you have all the information and power you need to make a good educated decision. But I showed you pretty much what you're looking at, and 3 different style of truck stops if you decide to stop at one of these. So I hope this helps. Have a good eating. I hope you like, share, subscribe to this channel, and happy eats.
Not quite too sure what happened here.